Yes, I'm married to a dancer, and it's not that type of dancer. It's a ballet dancer. And I'll be honest, before I married Katie, I didn't know the first thing about dance other than seeing Nutcracker and Swan Lake as a kid. And that meant ballet was soft and foo-foo and girly and effeminate, all the things. And as I started to live with Katie and she started taking off her shoes at night, I was astounded with the disgusting deformity that her feet were. Blisters where blisters shouldn't be, aches and pains where they shouldn't be. And I realized ballet is freaking hard if it can do that to your feet. And as I looked around at the other people she danced with, what I quickly realized is that they're muscle-bound, hard-ass professional athletes who could take a doughboy like me and split him in two at a moment's notice. And that's pretty buff. And what I quickly realized is I started asking questions of Katie and started realizing is that there's a lot of things for a geek to like about ballet. They study the parabolic curve of jumps. They look at the tricks that dancers do so they look like they're jumping further than they really are. They do incredible things to increase their hang time. There's isometric studies that have studied the evolution of dance over 40 years and how high feet now get versus where they were 60 years ago. That's pretty cool, especially to a cybermetric geek like myself who loves baseball and stats and spreadsheets. The other thing about ballet is that it can be coded. This is code for a dance. This is pretty cool. And this tells you in three-dimensional, on a 2D piece of paper, what happens in a dance. Quickly, I realized that ballet is much like a professional sport. There's plays and things that you learn, except you have to memorize 2 hours worth of dance instead of being told every 30 seconds what a play is. Now, in talking tonight, nobody here knows anything about ballet except Jamie, who dances with my wife. And the thing that you have to learn once you realize all the tips and tricks is that you'll quickly realize what dance is. It starts with bar and a plie and a passe and an arabesque. I'm not very good at it. And you quickly evolve to, when you learn that, to point. And point is the thing where you learn to stand on the tip of your toe, and this is what deforms your feet. After you learn point and the ability to stand on your toe, you can spin. That's called a pirouette. A foyette is a fancy spin where you stand up, you start on your feet, stand up, and bounce again. In dance and in ballet, in some dances, you're supposed to do that 32 times in a row. That's freaking hard and amazing. If you see amazing things, you're allowed to clap. That's another thing my wife wanted to let people to know. You can clap just like you do at a sporting event. Please do. Stop being a bunch of diehards and get up and clap at ballets. The next thing, once you learn how to spin, you can jump. Grand jeté literally means big jump. Those are the classics. After you learn to jump, you can partner. That's called pas de deux. Literally means dance with two. After you learn to dance with a partner, you can do these incredible things called lifts. And what's amazing, it's very much like figure skating in pairs, except you don't have 20 mile an hour of angular momentum and inertia to carry you up. As a guy, I'm supposed to stand here and lift with one hand and about 3 fingers a 120-pound woman and carry her across the stage. That's amazing and hard and fantastic. And if you see that, please cheer. After you do a lift, the other thing is called a grand bâtiment. This is literally where you stand on the balls of your feet and kick your foot up to your face. I'm lucky to get it past my fat waist. This is incredible. If you see this, clap. These are all the amazing elements of dance and ballet. After you've seen these, you can look at any ballet and appreciate it. Get a pair of binoculars, see the sweat and hard breathing that ballet folks have to do. The other thing is these are the classics. These are all the dances and things you've probably heard of, like Giselle and Copella and Swan Lake and Cinderella and Romeo and Juliet and Don Quixote. Those are the classics. Please go see them. This is the Red Auerbach of the ballet world. George Balanchine, a Russian immigrant who basically invented modern ballet and inspired 60 years of an incredibly athletic professional. He turned it from deity to professional. He's well known for actually taking away storytelling from ballet, introducing the thought of plotless ballets, and focusing on the athletic and grace of the ballet movements themselves. This is the Hall of Fame. Peter Martins and Susan Farrell and Morgan Fontaine and Anna Pavlova, who's the grandmaster of modern dance, 1892 to about 1930. These are the companies. These are basically the sports teams, the equivalents of the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. If you get a chance to see these people on tour, please do so. When the Boston Red Sox come to town, everybody goes and sees them at the Mariners. When these people come to town, please see them. The other thing is you then have the modern ballet. In fact, the classics, those classic they are, pretty boring compared and pretty technical. You have to actually it's sort of like taking Brit Lit as a junior in college without ever learning how to read. Start with modern ballet, incredible choreographers like William Forsythe and Alvin Ailey, much more approachable and dynamic. These are the modern rock stars. Vanity Fair, this is just recently, Robert Boulez, Gillian Murphy in The Bottom of the Water, Ethan Stiefel, Helen Morgan, Paloma Herrera in the upper right, and then Angel Corolla in the upper left. Those are today's modern rock stars, the Barry Bonds of the ballet world. And please, when you watch ballet, don't watch faces. Please pay attention to the feet. They're doing the dancing. Thank you.